All right, everybody, welcome back to Stinker, Drinker, Thinker. We're three guys. We pour some pours, we make some cocktails, and we rank them in our own very special way with a ranking system we've developed known as the Stinker, the Drinker, or the Thinker. It's very honest. It's no numbers. It's no bullshit. We just tell you how it is. That's kind of what we're known for. Tonight we have a very special, very, very, very special episode. There's no cocktails involved. These are straight pours. These are sluggers, bottle kills. We're going to kill a bunch of bottles, at least 15 bottles.
100 bottles.
100 bottles we're going to kill. Matt brought a whole bunch of his almost empties over here. I have a whole rack of stuff that's half empty at the very least because I actually drink my liquor and Matt doesn't. But a very special thing we're going to do here is we're going to introduce to you how me and Troy spend most of our Sundays. This is How to Watch Sports with Troy the Body Viglotti and Anthony Longano. I am Anthony Longano. Thank you very much for joining us. This is Troy the Body Viglotti. We are watching the All Star game live here tonight.
Baseball.
The MLB fucking All Star game. We're watching it live here tonight. It's a week after.
Sure.
This episode's coming out on a Tuesday. Troy, without rudely interrupting me, please say hello.
I just didn't want people to think that there was another sport, like, because, baseball All-Star game is, particularly
It is July.
an All-Star game.
Yeah,
that,
what happened? This is what happens when we drink. What other All-Star game goes on in July, Troy?
Well, I mean, let me get out
The All-Star game is on. Troy the Body Viglotti, say hello.
Well, I just wanted to point out a few more things before. JK, hello, everybody.
And then our awesome friend who is going to be introduced to our we're not alcoholics. We're liquor connoisseurs, and we drink fast. Matt McKibble, everybody.
I'm just here for the crackers. Hi.
There's not going to be any cracker breaks tonight, and you can thank us later for that because they've been fucking atrocious lately. But
Thank you all viewers.
Happy to have you here. We're going to tell some stories tonight. We're going to drink liquor, and we're just going to pour away. We'll give some rankings. There'll be some times where we're not all drinking the same things.
And I will caveat, and we'll probably talk about it. All of my bottles are actually probably a year old.
Yeah.
So we'll see if it tastes different. Flavor drift. We'll see if it's real.
All of my almost empties are just about 72 hours old. That's not true.
Some of these bottles are some of the first bottles I've ever purchased.
Yeah.
And they're finally now gone, and it's been almost 2 years.
Yeah. The idea here is when me and Troy get together, and we've talked about this a bunch on here when we have our cocktail Sundays and just like over quarantine when me and Troy were writing music and working together. And Troy lived in my house for a little while. Handles of Elijah Craig gone within minutes. Those types of nights. We're obviously huge sports fans. Me and Troy also watch the New York Giants games together. My father, don't ever repeat this. My father would roll over in his grave if he ever heard me say this. But I've been rooting for the New York Yankees this year because of Troy the Body Viglotti. I grew up a Mets fan. Actually, I grew up a fan of anyone who was contending with the Yankees.
Me too.
And I was a Boston Red Sox fan for most of my life. But, not even my own family. My wife's family, they're all diehard fucking Yankees fans. Troy the Body Viglotti, I'm rooting for the Yankees this year, just for you, for the first time in my history.
Appreciate that.
And I'm not someone who takes baseball lightly. I definitely don't take it as serious as I used to. I was an all-star pitcher and all-star first baseman. I won 2 home run derbies. My dad pitched 3 games for the St. Louis Cardinals back in his heyday before his father got sick and he had to take care of him. There's a long history of baseball in my family. The fact that
Jose Trevino. Sorry. Yankee catcher.
That's Carlos Mencia. He's playing baseball.
Carlos Mencia?
Yeah.
That's a new show.
Yeah. Anyway,
it's
you're going to hear a lot of that. So what we're going to do is what me and Troy do when we watch sports. We pour whatever the fuck we want. We drink it quick, and we commentate, and we cheer, and we yell. We'll give you our rankings on them. Obviously, Matt brought a lot of stuff. We have 4 cups in front of us. A couple house cleaning notes. We just got off the Cocktail Doctor episodes with our good friend Danielle Hickson, cousin of mine, lifelong friend of mine, one of my oldest friends. Actually, I've known her longer than I've known about every other person except one. Me and Troy were in a band with her for a while. She's an excellent musician. Follow her on Instagram at Dano Makes Music. We took her a cocktail and we fucked it up, and it sounds great, or it tastes great. it's delicious. We just drank it like 20 minutes ago, so you can kind of
True.
understand why I'm slurring and saying weird things. We got a lot of shit going on Instagram. We're always giving away liquor. We probably, at this point, just finished giving away a bottle, a little, what is that, 250?
Well, there's probably 375.
It's a 375 of Jack Gold Barrel Proof. And then we'll wrap it up at the end of the episode, but there's a little something special we're going to give away. As well, if you're not following us on there, please do. If you're new here, whatever platform you're watching or listening on, hit the thumbs up, hit the like button, and subscribe. That'll be huge. Send to your friends. We greatly appreciate it. We got a lot of cool stuff coming up, too. Actually, we should talk about this now. The next episode we're doing, a good friend of ours, Murphy from Cedar Ridge out in Iowa, is going to join us, which is kind of
super exciting.
I'm like super excited about this stuff. We can't get that stuff in Indiana. They sent us a ton of samples to try. I'm like actually super pumped about it. There's only one that's what we would consider overproof. I've heard a lot of great things about their barrel proof offerings, but they did send us. I think they sent us like 6 or 7 different things to try, and then we also have. We have some friends that are involved with the band Slipknot, and Slipknot actually released a whiskey through them, and we have a couple samples of that too.
Did they send us any quintessential?
They did.
Okay.
The single malt?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we have that as well.
I almost bought a bottle. I was like, I'm going to try it first.
No, man. So we're super excited to have Murphy from Cedar Ridge on here next week. That's the next episode coming up. You'll probably see that this coming Friday. It should be a fun time. So thanks again for all your support. Let's drink liquor, guys. Matt, since you're new here when it comes to watching sports with Anthony and Troy, go ahead and grab a bottle and pour it for us.
I only know about the Red Sox. They're my favorite team.
That's sad.
They're the best team.
Aren't you like a fucking Patriots fan?
Red Sox fan.
You're a Patriots fan.
Panthers.
Panthers.
Well, I grew up a Patriots fan because I grew up in New England. And then...
what part of Connecticut are you from?
New Hampshire.
That was a great question.
That was a great answer.
Yeah, both ways.
But I went to college in Indiana, and everyone hates the Patriots in Indiana. Colts fans hate the Patriots. So I was like, you know what? It's just too much effort to be a Patriots fan. Quite frankly, I don't give a shit about sports. Mostly, who can I like that nobody dislikes? At that time, the Panthers. Who hates the Panthers? They didn't have anybody back then. Nobody knows about the Panthers. So became a Panthers fan. And they got Cam Newton. And
do you remember that commercial where Cam Newton and the little kid?
Yeah.
Yep. One of my all-time favorite commercials.
Pretty good commercial.
Now Cam's doing nothing.
Well, yeah.
Interestingly enough. Good MVP season, though. Lost in that NFC Championship game. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. Good year to be a Panthers fan.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. One of the only good years to be a Panthers fan.
Pretty much, yeah, forever. But yeah, so now I watch the Red Sox, and by that I mean I've watched the Red Sox back when I watched baseball about 10 years ago. So.
Yeah, me too. I grew up, like I said before, I grew up a Mets fan, slowly transitioned to a Red Sox fan. Family was very into baseball, but we were also very into football. Very into football. I'm a diehard New York Giants fan, and when you go to New Jersey, there's really a 50-50 split on how many people hate Tom Brady and the Patriots.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Because 50% of them are Jets fans. Actually, I'm sorry. 40% of them are Jets fans. 50% of them are Giants fans, and 10% of them are Eagles fans.
Oh, interesting.
The Philadelphia Beagles is like they all got fucked up faces that look like beagles.
I just feel, yeah.
Anyway, so like, I don't hate Tom Brady. I actually fucking root for Tom Brady. I love Tom Brady, and the only reason why is because I got two. I got two from him. You know, Jets fans.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry for you.
I just feel like.
Time out. That is the call. That is the nature call of liquor.
Okay.
Troy? When it's time to have something in your cup, me and Troy whistle at each other. Troy can't whistle, so that's what he does. Yeah.
I use my phone.
Yeah. Troy, while Matt's pouring, tell us a little bit about your sports life. We're starting with Eagle Rare.
That's such a great start. Oh
We're going to kill that bottle of Eagle Rare
so
right now.
So fucking excited.
Very excited.
This is a special bottle of Eagle Rare.
Is it a store pick?
No. This is a special bottle of Eagle Rare.
Because it's got a weird cap?
This is the first bottle of Eagle Rare I ever bought.
Oh my God. How long have you been collecting whiskey?
I only found Eagle Rare probably 6 to 8 months within my whiskey journey.
So this is a 2-year-old bottle of Eagle Rare.
A year and a half, probably.
That's 3/4 of the way gone.
And so the cap broke. The cork broke.
The cap and cork?
The cap and cork and the cork and cleaver broke. And Capicola. And Capicola. And so I replaced it with this cute little bird thing that I got at my wedding. And so this has probably been exposed to air for a year now.
Oh, let's slug it. It's gone.
Who knows? So
Gone.
I want to open this first because we have to finish this first.
Troy, this is not podcast pours. This is drinking with Troy and Anthony.
I don't have to pour. You guys can pour.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, we're on a podcast.
And Matt, speaking of gabagool, we're going to pour one out for Paulie Walnuts, who died a few weeks ago.
True. All right, so back to me telling the story that you told me to tell.
About sports.
Yeah.
Let's hear about your sports. What kind of pussy-ass pour is that?
I got a big pour here.
That was pretty normal. I don't know why you gave me this.
Because I don't want to fall asleep on my crackers.
I've never been all that into sports with the exception of one sport. So it's always been baseball, but football was a close second, but only I was obsessed with football from like 99 to 2003. And then when the Giants started winning the Super Bowl in it was 2007?
Yeah, the first one was 2007.
That, like, even before that, like maybe 05. Let's just say, like, from 05 to current to present, I have been definitely
they had a
diehard
good team then,
Giants
man.
fan.
They had a good team then. That's 05 is when 04 was when Eli was drafted, but 05 was when Eli.
Oh no, even before that. Then one of Kerry Collins' last seasons.
Well, that was
like
so.
Ike
Kerry
Hilliard,
Collins was the year. Yeah,
and Amani
was a
Toomer.
great player. Amani was a great player, all-time Giants.
But that's like
record.
early 2000s.
Yeah, that was probably 2003, 2004. Eli was drafted in 2004. Kerry Collins played. They got Kurt Warner halfway through the season.
Oh, wow.
Eli came in.
Yeah.
Kurt got hurt. Eli
He's been
came
a lot
in.
of teams.
Yeah,
he has, and he's won a bunch. So you can't even hate him.
Yep.
But Kurt Warner came in or got hurt. Eli came in. Everyone fucking hated Eli in New York. Me and my dad were the only ones who rooted for him. We gave him time, just like we're doing with Danny Dimes. And you know, year 3 or 4, they were in that Super Bowl 2007. And a lot of people credit the Giants' defense, but Eli had some throws.
I mean, bro, of course.
And then in 2011, same thing here in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
But anyway, continue your story. I'm
And
sorry.
I watched those Super Bowls with you, and a lot of those seasons and a lot of the games, you know, a lot of those Sundays from then on. But I was utterly obsessed with football in the 2001, I think, for some strange reason. Like I couldn't get enough. I think it was Madden. I think it was a video game.
Dude.
NFL Blitz.
Eddie George was on the cover, and I'm pretty sure that was 01 Madden, if I'm not mistaken. And it was a blip in the radar. But I went to the library, my public library, and was studying the rules of football because my dad was a football fan. My mom was clueless, and I kind of had to fend for myself if I wanted to hang with pretty much all of my other friends who were obsessed with football and knew way more about it than I did.
Yeah. Most of our crew back then, football Sundays were a religion.
Yeah.
So
But I was always a very scrawny kid.
no Bud Light was safe on football Sunday.
Yeah. I never played football. I never stood a chance of playing football. I really never stood a chance of playing any sport, but I tried my absolute fucking hardest.
You were a pretty good baseball
to play
player.
baseball. Yeah. From
I don't know about defense, but I remember you. I mean, I think at least one season we were on the same team together.
we definitely played against each other. I don't know if we were on the same team.
I remember specifically a game. I don't know if it was against you or with you. You hit like I think 3 or 4 singles that drove some runs in.
I was very much a contact hitter. I did not have much power at all.
No, I mean if you get into center field and you advance, like that's all that really mattered. But yeah, I mean I don't know about the defense side of things. I don't really remember you.
Second base.
You were a second baseman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That was my primary position. I was born into it. I didn't have a choice. Both of my parents were pretty much diehard Yankee fans, and that's just like coincidence. My mom was a diehard Yankee fan growing up. My dad was a diehard Yankee fan growing up, separate from one another.
So interesting.
Yeah.
Mine was the exact opposite.
Yeah. But I mean, they basically were like born and raised on the outskirts of, not the outskirts, but like within 45 minutes of New York City.
So my dad was born in New York. He's a New York. He's a New
Yeah.
Yorker. And
Your dad was born in Newark?
New York.
Time out. Was he born in New York or Newark?
New York.
Oh,
Okay.
New York?
What part of New York?
New York.
What part?
New York.
Oh my
City?
God.
What borough?
New York City.
He doesn't know.
New York. Newburgh. New York.
Newburgh. Is that a real?
Yeah.
This is a suburb.
Newburgh. Yeah. Outside the city.
Okay.
But
Probably one of those fucking Staten Island
Newburgh.
burritos.
no. So my mom's side of the family diehard from like near Boston. She's from Massachusetts, and so they're diehard Patriots and Red Sox fans. And my dad became more of a sports fan when he married or when they got married later on, because my theory is, I'm sorry if this is incorrect, that he became annoyed with her side of the family, and so he got more into sports to spite them because he hates the Patriots because he's a Giants fan. But he became more into a Giants fan because my mom's family is such a diehard Patriots fan. So he just decided that was his thing and like would like go like battle. So.
Can I put something out in the universe? If you guys are Giants fans, you have no fucking reason to hate the New England Patriots. Bill Belichick was your defensive coordinator. You won Super Bowls with him. And he gave you 2 back when he put the best quarterback of all time on the field, and we fucked him up. And if you're a Patriots fan, I'm sorry, but that's exactly what fucking happened. And our quarterback made the throws, and he didn't. And
I think, if anything, I don't like the Patriots because of my hatred for the Red Sox.
Oh.
and that's a very interesting point, and I think a lot of people's hatred.
You tie cities to sports.
Exactly. I have plenty of friends who fucking hate the Patriots or talk shit about Tom Brady. There's literally nothing bad you could ever fucking say about Tom Brady. He proves it day in, day out, year after year. I mean, he's got more wins in Super Bowls than he's got losses, and he's got more Super Bowl wins than just about fucking anybody.
What if he kisses his kids on the mouth?
I kiss my daughter on the mouth every day.
There you go, haters.
Yep. My daughter kisses you on the mouth. She kisses me on the mouth. She kisses my wife on the mouth. She kisses her papa on the mouth. She kisses her nana on the mouth. She kisses her grandma Peg on the mouth, too. It don't matter.
Nana and Papa.
Yeah.
And Peg?
And Peg. Grandma Peg. Yep.
I was finding it interesting, like, grandmothers' names. Because everyone, like, has to pick you have to pick your grandma name. You know? Like, you got to go, like, what are you going to go by when you're a grandma?
That's just her name.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, like, you got to decide. Because, like, you know, I think my mom was talking about, like, all right, what does she want to be called? Like, when she became a grandma for the first time. She'd, like, what does she want to tell her grandchild?
Well,
what she wants to become.
Off of family, back to sports, please.
Also,
All right, so let me yeah.
Let's talk about the whiskey.
well, Troy, too.
okay.
I was gonna bring that up. My first question. This is what I really want.
Sorry, this chair is really fucking creaky.
That's fine.
I hope it's.
This is a whatever goes episode. You're fine.
Yeah.
You need a cracker. I don't care. I won't edit it out. I'll
That's
be angry the whole
alluding
time.
to the fact that I've already eaten like 5.
Yeah, see what Anthony's doing? I'm not going to edit that out. This is what you're going to listen to. This is what I get to edit.
I get text
every
messages
episode.
at 1:30 in the morning on
All
a
right.
Tuesday about this.
All right.
You guys are all going to hear it now.
This is not the episode for you if you hate mouth noises or sound. Anyway, all right. This has been in the bottle with a really shitty cork in it for a year and a half.
Yeah.
Is there flavor drift typically is what it's called.
I didn't know that.
Is there
yeah.
enough? Usually, like flavor drift also sometimes refers to different batches. Like if there's a flavor drift in a profile of a whiskey. So if you have a flavor drift between Elijah Craig small batch between when it first came out when it's now, you know, the profile changes as you know, taste evolves. But also referred to this, you know, when it's sitting in a bottle with aeration or oxidation. Do you think we've all probably had Eagle Rare a few times?
Oh my God, yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. Do you think this is significantly different?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
No.
I'm not. I was Anthony for yeah.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. But that's fine.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm going to segue into you because I think you have a story to tell with Eagle Rare. So give me a second. First and foremost, I fucking love Eagle Rare. I think Eagle Rare is the best $36 bottle on the market. I wish that it was not allocated. I wish it was readily available because this is the best bang for your buck whiskey that you can get besides Buffalo Trace. But I absolutely love Eagle Rare. Do you get a little bit of what did you call flavor drift? Is that
There's oxidation. I mean, whatever you want to call it.
I mean, if that's what this is called, it's great.
Okay.
If anything, it bolted it up a little bit. I've always thought Eagle Rare was just like a tad bit thin. This is not. It's delicious. That bottle will be gone.
it tastes a little airy and a little more spicy.
Guys, this is the first time we've done Eagle Rare on this podcast.
Yep.
Which is
Unfortunate.
It is unfortunate. I really think we need to have an allocated Buffalo Trace night besides Weller.
But I did, spoiler alert, not yet, but soon, I did purchase an extra bottle of Eagle Rare.
Oh, we're going to be giving that away.
We may or may not be giving away.
If you follow us on Instagram in a few weeks, we'll be giving it away.
Yep.
Troy, do you remember back in the day, and you've told me stories, we're going to bring back Wegmans on this podcast once again.
Wegmans.
When
Wegman?
When you used to say that you used to be able to find Eagle Rare on the shelf
Under
daily,
30.
under $30 daily. This is not a $30 liquor, guys. I mean, in today's market, this is taste equivalent to a $60 or $70 bottle of whiskey.
I vividly remember the top shelf of Wegmans whiskey bourbon selection like it was yesterday.
Yeah, tell us.
And I couldn't. Blanton's had a place on that shelf for $50, $49.99. It was, I
have a story about that.
I swear I remember it all. There was Angel's Envy. There was Baker's.
Baker 7?
Yeah, Baker's 7 with the wine bottle shaped label,
Yep.
the black. Yeah,
Yep.
wine. You know, yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Baker 7 is delicious fucking stuff
Yep.
too, by the way.
There was Booker's. There was not a day Booker's wasn't on the shelf.
You know what's funny?
It
still is.
Yeah.
I went to a liquor store in the East Coast. There was literally a fucking
Just
you
not
guys
in
see my
Indiana.
shelves in the back,
Yeah.
covered in Bookers, and they
Yep.
take them all out of the boxes and they keep the boxes in the back. Can't buy that shit here.
Not in Indiana.
Can't buy that shit anywhere in the Midwest, at least. Like on the East Coast, on the shelves everywhere.
Yeah. There was Eagle Rare. There was Knob Creek, which is one of the only ones that seems to have stood its ground in terms of longevity and maintaining that same sort of price point and availability. I don't know why, but I remember when I first started working at the wine shop at Wegmans, I had never seen any of these bottles in my life before. I didn't know what Blanton's was. I didn't know what Eagle Rare was. I didn't know what Basil Hayden's was. I didn't know what Baker's was.
This is obviously before the bourbon boom, too.
Yeah,
when
yeah. This was
allocation
2000
started.
between 2009 and 2011.
Did you ever see Pappy on the shelves?
No, we never carried Pappy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we never carried Pappy.
Just because back then, a $100 bottle of whiskey's like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And I don't even think we had I don't think there was any bourbon more than $50.
Yeah.
Blanton's was the most expensive one there was.
It was. It was intended to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a story about that when we're done.
And I took it for granted, all of it, every fucking bottle. I took them all for granted.
Yep.
And that's why I kind of gravitated towards Scotch at that time, was because I thought that was more boutique and more
Elegant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was really starting to,
That's all marketing, right?
Find your liquor groove,
yeah,
dude.
Yeah. I was starting to find my swank, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was all wine, but when I wanted to, I was always into whatever was, brown and liquor.
I'm gonna call you Hillary.
And I was pretty much always into not over diluting or mixing. Well, not always, but once I turned 20, I was like, well,
No,
I wanna
21, Troy. 21.
Once he turned sub 21.
On this episode,
Yeah.
You didn't get to my joke. You were getting your swank, and I said, "Oh, I can call you Hillary."
I get it. Sorry, I missed it, but now I get it.
Swank used to be really hot.
But yeah, man. I mean, those were the fucking days. Those were the days. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. I mean, when I got when I first started hunting, my first allocated gift at a liquor store was like, "Hey, Anthony, come in today. We got something for you." It was a bottle of Eagle Rare, and I felt so fucking special. That was 14 months ago at this point, but first bottle of Eagle Rare, super super thankful for it.
I lost my train of thought with Eagle Rare. There's something about, I guess, the oxidation that I don't think of it as oxidation like I would with wine. I just think of it as a little bit of, it's faded.
It's a little bit not metallic, but it has a little bit less sharpness.
Yeah, the best way I can describe it right now, because this is something I've been thinking about, like a specific term, and it's like when a wine has really hit its sweet spot, I feel like it's got something that sounds like it's a negative word and has negative connotation, but it's not. It's called tension. And tension is something that that grapevines thrive in in terms of soil production and like poor drainage is a good thing, and when they struggle, when the vines struggle, they produce better wine, better grapes, and I think it sort of translates to the byproduct that's inside the bottle when you pour it into the glass, and you're just like there's vigor, and I feel like there's vigor and tension in a really good glass of bourbon as well. Not so much like acid profile, but like the tannin profile. I mean, that's real because there's barrel and there's wood tannin. Yep. And
can I stop you for a second? Just a question. Did you say tension or intention?
Tension.
Okay.
Yeah. As in like things, kind of pulling from one side.
Well, yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Given the rest of your description of what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I thought you said intention though.
No. Yeah. That's very, very fair question. But and I think vigor might even be a better word.
You said vigor.
Yeah.
So this is more relaxed.
This is it loses the tension.
Okay.
It loses the aggression. It loses the bite that I want from what I think I'm accustomed to.
So it's a low pass filter
with something like Eagle Rare.
I mean, I absolutely I want you to hand that bottle to me because the point of this episode is to kill it, right?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I moved on.
No, you're good.
We poured some Blantons that needs to get killed.
That's true.
Too.
Yeah.
But everyone needs.
I would like to do the side by side. Although, okay, so here's the question. So I'm always worried as a collector. This is what I run into all the time. I have a bunch of unopened bottles. I have a bunch of open bottles. Some of those open bottles have. I got a huge pour left. Some of these open bottles have half missing or a quarter missing, and I'm worried sitting here like I'm not going to get to that bottle. Like I'm over 300 now. I'm not going to get to one of those bottles for another year or two, maybe until I finish it. Like, what is a whiskey going to taste like, especially if it's a high-end whiskey?
I'm very worried about that
this?
too.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I have some bottles here that are close to me worrying.
Right.
Let's put it that
so you
way.
keep it out of sunlight. You cork, make sure the cork is tight. You can even like
I keep it in low temperatures.
every now and again. You can like kind of rotate the cork, make sure it's wet enough, whatever.
Yeah.
But like this is what I was curious about. Why I brought the specific bottle is because this has been a really shitty cork for a year and a half. What is this going to taste like? How different is this?
I mean, it's a drinker.
And I think it is different. I think there is significant difference between.
I mean, do you want me to?
I'm only basing it off memory, though.
Do you want to compare it to a bottle of Eagle Rare
Yes,
that I've had
I
open
do.
for 6 months?
Yes, I do.
Okay. That's something.
That's why I want to do it.
Yeah, that's something.
But I do think it's significantly different.
What's funny is if we pop the cup, I mean, we are gonna have to finish that too.
I don't know about that.
Christ.
But that was kind of why I wanted to bring that, because I'm curious about this. And this might hold up to the notion of my entire collection maybe being different.
Can I? This is going in the Infinite Drinker.
Oh, yeah, perfect.
Yep. Okay. If you want to grab that while we pour.
We can just pour a bunch of shit in there.
Sorry,
we're
I'm trying to really desperately to watch my pitcher and catcher right now, which I know is really hard.
Are you a pitcher or a catcher, Troy?
Anyway,
Troy, give a little bit of that to yourself. I'm gonna go pour this in the Infinite Drinker.
Hey, you want here? Give that to Troy.
No, you can do it. Just pour the rest of it in there.
Oh, it's on pours.
No.
Now.
this fucking picture sucks.
It's not HD, bro. I need 4K.
Manny Ramirez.
He was on the other episode. I actually have to pee really bad.
Take a pee break?
All right. This pee break sponsored by Eagle Rare. Thank you, Buffalo Trace. Pee break.
Welcome back from Piss Break, everybody. This Piss Break is brought to you by Buffalo Trace Distillery. All we've drank in on this Bottle Kill episode so far is Buffalo Trace. We're going to compare. So my bottle of Eagle Rare I opened in October. Mm-hmm. Yours...
Year and a half ago, probably.
Year and a half ago. So mine's about 8 months. Yeah.
And yours had a real cork.
Mine did have a real cork in it.
Real cork. All right.
Sam, we need your help on this one.
Okay.
They really do taste, they smell different. One's almost a little bit more bitter. Like, not really bitter, but just like
I'm
funky in a weird way.
Are these single barrels?
I was literally
No.
just checking that. They're small batched.
It was 10 years. They took off the age statement off the bottle and they brought it back or something.
It's here.
Oh, they put it in the back.
Yeah.
It used to be on the bottle itself.
Yep.
In front.
Just says Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. I would imagine it's batched
Probably.
to some extent, especially
They've changed
with
it.
how they're trying to keep up. But I don't really know if Troy's the master sommelier, so
Yeah, but
I kind of like the way your bottle smells better.
Really?
I mean, they both. I almost feel like yours smells a little thinner than mine.
Yep.
Get a little more caramel, vanilla, and oak in mine.
I do think that the alcohol dissipates more rapidly when there's less volume in a bottle for a
it
longer
does.
period of time.
It becomes lower ABV.
So I think that's pretty prominent, or pretty apparent, I should say.
Yeah, because the alcohol vapors are trapped in the bottle. He releases cork. The alcohol vapors escape, but there's still the liquid in the bottle.
Yeah.
So you're lowering the ABV every time that happens.
Yeah. I think that's where we are at, which also lends to a little bit less complexity because I think alcohol, the alcohol preserves some of the complexity of the actual whiskey, not just the alcohol, but some of like the notes.
There's a sharpness to the newer one.
Yeah. So exactly. My initial thoughts is that the older one is definitely thinner on the nose and thinner on the palate. The newer one, which is still fairly old, 8 months old, you get a little bit more of that burn, that ethanol burn on it. They taste almost identical, but like just a little bit more harsh. It kind of reminds me
More
of like
citrusy.
it kind of reminds me of like a vinegar-based like Kansas City barbecue sauce. That char, that smoke that you get, just with a little bit more caramel, vanilla.
So which do you prefer?
I mean, Eagle Rare is Eagle Rare at the end of the day.
Sure, but they are different.
I always like stuff that tests the palate. I think honestly, I honestly think I prefer yours.
Okay, that's very interesting. Troy?
Yeah.
Not me. No. Anthony's is just like brighter, zestier. It's like, more. I don't know.
Oh wow. Can we back up?
Okay.
Yeah.
Get like a brown sugar coating on the bottom of mine. Yours is like super thin,
Mine tastes like wet wood. This tastes like more citrusy caramel.
and I've probably had like 4 to 5 ounces of that at this point.
Yeah.
Compared to mine, I don't know. I mean, mine is definitely a little bit more robust. At the end of the day, they're both drinkers.
Yes.
Should we
But-
put both in the Infinite Drinker?
Whatever you want to do. But
Yes,
that-
absolutely.
That is my question is, did that extra year of being in a shitty cork, oxidation, affect it enough where
I
like,
think so.
I don't really like
there's
it.
a noticeable difference. And yes, this stuff is batched, and I guarantee you this was not the same batch.
no way it was.
Yeah, I mean, but I bought mine on July 3rd, 2021. Didn't open it until October. Actually, I opened it in September and finished it. Here's an interesting thing. I actually refilled this bottle of Eagle Rare. I refilled it.
This one?
Yes, I refilled it from a handle that I have.
Oh.
I scored that bottle of Eagle Rare, and then 2 weeks later, I scored 2 handles of Eagle Rare.
Yeah.
That was overwhelming. I remember
Yeah.
that.
Well, I was in a crisis period. That's when I first started collecting whiskey, and I was texting Troy. I was like, Troy, do I need to like seek help? Like, what am I doing here? Do you remember
happened.
those text messages? Like, I was sending messages to Troy. I was like, Troy, I'm at 40 bottles of whiskey. He goes, Anthony, we have enough whiskey to get you and me together through the next year and a half. You need to stop. And then the next day, I got 2 handles of Eagle Rare, a bottle of E.H. Taylor small batch, all in one stop.
Yep.
Anyway.
So, they are both drinkers.
Oh, 100%. I think I like mine. Mine's a little bit more complex. Yours is still thin. I still drink the shit out of both of them.
Before the podcast spawned, though, right?
Oh yeah, the podcast
way
didn't spawn
before.
until February.
The podcast respond.
The spodcast.
The spodcast respond. No, the spodcast spawned in answer to the whiskey
Yeah.
collection.
This is what made me feel like what I was spending money on. Yeah,
Right.
exactly right.
We wanted to justify our spending habits. Yeah. But I agree. The newer, quote unquote, is better. Does that make me concerned for the rest of my whiskey collection? I don't know.
Well, we should do bottle kill episodes more often.
No.
No, but I mean, like, is that thing are going to evolve or are they going to get worse? Do you know what I mean?
Do you know?
Are all of your whiskeys topped with shitty corks?
No. But that would be the next point is, so do you have a double oak? Do you have a Woodford double oak?
I don't. No, that got annihilated very quick when it was here.
But I would love to try.
Goddamn right, Trevino.
Well, I mean,
to
to your point, though, like, guys, if you're at home and you're not like a nightly drinker, if you pour a bottle of whiskey into a decanter, within 2 weeks, that whiskey is tainted.
So
it's done.
So the solution
even
is
if you
smaller
take
bottles.
even if you take 2 pours out of it, like that whiskey is toast. It's done.
Well, okay.
Decanters don't work.
Right. So you keep them in a bottle that has a very tight seal.
Whereas to wine, it kind of helps. Obviously, it's still got a 2 or 3 day shelf life once it's poured, type of thing. But with whiskey, decanters are a problem. Keeping it in a bottle out of direct sunlight with a proper, obviously, cork,
Glass on
cooler
glass
conditions.
is good,
This is interesting. We can definitely taste the difference between these two.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that an educational thing would come out of drinking with
Zero
Anthony and Troy?
people thought that.
Let's move on to the Blantons.
But I was going to say, so if you do, the solution to this is less air gap in the bottle is the way to prevent oxidation beyond keeping it out of the sunlight and such. So if you do have a bottle that's at half and you just drank a bunch of it, you went through a session and you're like, all right, well, now what? I'm not going to drink this bottle for a while. The solution is to get a smaller bottle, like a 375 or something, pour your whiskey into that bottle so it has a little air gap. That will preserve your whiskey for a little bit longer. So, good thing to know.
Besides that, I think the general consensus is for a $35 fucking bottle of whiskey, Eagle Rare's a fucking drinker.
Correct.
Good whiskey.
Always.
Whether it's oxidized, 8 months old, or fresh as fuck.
Yep.
That's a good whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
Dig it. I'm going to tell you right now, this is the definition of Dr. Pepper single barrel. If Dr. Pepper made a bourbon, this is what Blanton's taste like. Unless you get a store pick, you'll get a little bit more vanilla notes in it.
Cheers.
Oh.
Opa.
Opa. Salute. First initial note with Blanton's always is like this cherry cola vanilla spice thing.
It says effervescence on it. Like it tingles my tongue a lot. Do you get that at all?
Yeah. I understand the hype of Blanton's. I don't understand the hunt of Blanton's.
I just love the bottle.
Yeah. I'm 2 letters away. I would never overpay for Blanton's, I don't think. You know? If I was going to, like, a couple weeks
What's
ago.
the most you'd pay?
$100.
Oh, some would say that's overpaying.
Well, that is overpaying. Well, 110 is what my mom paid.
Right, but I'm saying.
But, like, you know, a couple weeks ago, I was desperate to get my buddy something for his wedding, and I know he likes whiskey. Mm-hmm. And I was in a store, and they had a bottle of Blanton's in there for $1.99. I literally went looking for Blanton's, and I wasn't going to spend more than $100. It's a fucking $60 bottle at best. It's a $60 bottle, like, and it does not taste a cent more than $60.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. It's a drinker. It's going in the decanter. Like it's, you know, if this was readily available, like it should be. And God forbid Buffalo Trace literally gets on their Blanton's horse and starts fucking putting shit in barrels and catches up like everybody else.
They're trying, man.
I know they're trying. And listen, I know obviously something has happened there besides like the fucking Pappy heist and all that shit. Like the fact that you make all these fucking fine spirits and then people have to fucking hurt each other and pay extra
it's a cool
money.
bottle. It's got a collectability to it.
And it tastes good.
It's a single barrel. It tastes good.
It tastes good.
I honestly I thought it was higher proof than
No, Blanton Singles Barrel is what,
I always
93?
thought
Always
yeah.
93.
I think once upon a time I thought it was 100 proof.
They do make higher.
They make 100.
So
Yeah, but
the one bottle that I do want to try.
I think the black label is the bottom.
I've
they're
never
straight-
had anything.
they're-
other
So
than
they're
the
straight
regular.
from the barrel, which
straight
is
from the barrel is 113, 120.
yeah, it's straight from the barrel. There's gold.
Which is
This is the only one I've had though.
Right.
So.
That's why I want to try the other ones. I'm sure they're fine.
we were in Louisville a couple weeks ago. You better bet your ass when we go to the Bardstown Bourbon Festival. I'm either coming home with a bottle of gold or I'm paying for both of us to taste it.
You should get if you're gonna get one, if you have the chance, because they're about the same price, get the straight from the barrel. Don't get the gold. That's what I've been told.
I mean, I love uncut whiskey.
Yeah, I know.
So
Unlike
Heard.
just You're not very Jewish when it comes to whiskey. It's fine.
This is so good. So like compared to, and again, Blanton's is made by the same people who make Eagle Rare. Right. It's Buffalo Trace, right?
Yeah.
It's got like just like if we go back, we'll go back to my bottle of Eagle Rare. It's so similar. The Blanton's, it's got like a more of a sour thing. It kind of reminds me of Michter's a little bit, like a bolder, more vanilla Michter's, if that is even possible. But
you know what we should do?
there's so much more cherry notes in it. It literally tastes like Dr. Pepper to me.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Especially when it's colder. Me and my buddy Alden, who's been on this podcast, we opened this bottle on my porch back in March, and it was like a 50 or 60 degree day, and my wife and his girlfriend Molly were making dance costumes for my daughter's dance season, and me and Alden went and played around in golf, and then we opened this bottle, and that's what's left of it. We sat on my porch and drank it, and literally when it's that cold, when it's 57 or 60 degrees, it literally fucking tastes like Dr. Pepper. That's why we slugged it. It's a slugger.
And that's the heart of it.
Yeah.
Drinking whiskey with friends, telling stories, hanging
Exactly.
out.
Exactly right. That's what we're doing right now. Watching the All Star game in the top of the ninth with Mariano Rivera. They just played Enter Sandman. He's coming out to close.
It's George Lopez.
He's coming out to close the National League
it's
out.
George Lopez.
What is it? Still 3-2 American?
Literally.
Is it still 3? It's Mariano Rivera. And
Not
dude.
literally Mariano Rivera.
Oh
It's
my
literally
God!
George
It's Lady
Lopez.
Gaga.
Look, Gaga.
Is that Ashley Johnson?
Actually,
Lady
kinda looks
Gaga.
like Lauryn Hill. A little bit.
I was talking this about Troy. So the American League has won 8 in a row.
Yeah.
Troy, this says bottom of the 7th. Didn't we see top of the 8th?
I can't see.
Bottom of the 7th. This is bottom of the 7th.
Troy, didn't we see bottom of the 8th?
You said it was 8th.
All right.
You said 9th.
Sorry,
You said
guys. We're in the
9th.
bottom of the 7th. It's
I
3
think
to
it
2.
is. Can you
It's
tell
3 to
what
2
it is?
American.
It's the 7th.
Yeah.
I don't know how you know that.
I got new glasses, Troy. I don't know if you noticed.
Yeah, but the TV's so blurry.
You know
saw
what we
your
should do?
haircut.
And you fucking know I noticed.
You look
I know.
sexy as
Troy-
I did not notice the haircut.
Time out. Can
Well,
we back
actually-
up? Can you tell us about your trip to Las Vegas?
I can, but only if we drink another pour that's not Buffalo Trace.
Oh, of course.
We have choices. Troy, pick.
TP?
Troy, you can pick from the barrel over here.
A
Or you
barrel
pick
of bottle kills.
anything on my shelf that is
Let's kill those
almost gone.
things.
What'd you say?
Pick one of those.
Okay.
The Bowman's a one-sip Charlie.
I know.
What's the Woodford over there?
It's
Double
a double oak, which it actually is probably pretty good.
Let's do that.
I mean, we have to finish this bottle of Blanton's, though.
Oh, we'll finish it first. We have to finish it eventually. Grab the Woodford.
What were you talking about, Matt?
I was talking about
Vegas.
Troy. Oh,
Vegas.
No, we gotta hear about Vegas.
Matt went to
And
Vegas
then
last weekend.
yeah.
We still have not heard that story. Let's go.
I don't even know what story to tell.
There's a lot.
We went to Vegas for a friend's 40th birthday party. Stayed at the Mirage.
Vegas?
Stayed at the Mirage. I believe they're tearing it down because it's so old and shitty. The elevator was broken for us almost the entire weekend. Pretty sweet. We gambled a lot. We drank a lot. We ate a lot.
You look skinnier. Did you walk upstairs?
We walked a shit ton.
Yeah.
I'm skinnier.
Yeah, you. I mean, I don't know if it's the haircut or what.
Could be a haircut, new glasses, probably.
It was funny. I went to Jersey a couple weeks ago,
Still didn't acknowledge.
and I lost 10 pounds in New Jersey on vacation. I lost 10 pounds
That's kind of crazy.
just drinking
How does
and
it
walking.
happen?
I mean, I was running.
We walked a lot. So the best part was that it was 112 degrees average the entire weekend.
Best part?
Best part. So I was sweating my fucking ass off.
It's dry though.
It doesn't matter. Still 112 degrees in the direct sun.
112.
It doesn't matter how dry it is.
Dry though.
I agree with you. It wasn't as crazy as it could have been if it was humid, but it sucked. But we walked pretty much from every hotel. Walked down the entire strip. We walked down like Old Vegas area. We walked pretty much everywhere. But we did a lot of gambling. Me and Eric split a 44-ounce double bone-in ribeye steak. Delicious.
I'm sure it was.
Oh my god, so good. They had some gnocchi that was insane, out of this world gnocchi.
What? Explain it, please.
I literally
gnocchi.
couldn't explain it.
Well, I mean,
It was
what
so
are they dressing in?
It was just a little. It was just like it was like 6 gnocchi. It was like an appetizer.
It was an app.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was like 6 gnocchi, like just in. I have to look at the menu.
Gnocchi.
Gnocchi. I'm
if
sure
you
Eric
guys see my penis coming through the table, I apologize. I fucking love gnocchi.
It was. I have to look at the menu because I like blanked out how good. Like I blacked out because of how good it was. But it was just like the simple gnocchi, just lined up. a little bit of sauce, and it was like just perfectly cooked.
What kind of sauce was it?
It was some sort of cream-based sauce.
Basil.
I don't know.
Basil.
So we did that. We got some ribeye. We got an entire seafood platter to start with.
A seafood platter.
They had a funny story, whiskey related. So the guy we were with, Eric's friend from Pittsburgh, I believe, ordered an old fashioned.
He ordered a hoagie.
A hoagie. He ordered an old fashioned. They have an old fashioned cart they bring around.
What are you talking about? An old fashioned cart.
They have a physical cart they wheel around that has all their old fashioned ingredients. And they make an old fashioned. They make a Manhattan. And they're like, all right. Well, here's the cart. Kind of like they do guacamole at a Mexican restaurant, but if this is for booze.
They muddle it at the table or whatever. Yeah.
So she makes it at the table side because they can charge you more.
Just like Baker Street makes your donuts for you, which are
flambéed.
Pretty fucking good.
Yeah. So he ended up getting a Manhattan because she offered a Manhattan, and they had Elijah Craig small batch as an option
for the old fashioned.
Oh, and Manhattan. That's
okay. Interesting.
They had the next one, which is Woodinville port finished. And then the third one, Lock, Stock, and Barrel 10-year.
How much was that old fashioned?
Kind of weird. I don't know. We didn't ask the pricing. But it's a little weird.
What did you get?
I told him to go for the Woodinville port finished for Manhattan.
Why wouldn't you get the Lock, Stock, and Barrel?
Because it was probably going to be a crazy upcharge because she made it sound like it was going to be an upcharge.
Okay.
And Lock, Stock, and Barrel is good, but like for Manhattan.
The 13 is like $100 bottles. So
right. Well, there's a 10-year.
Yeah,
but
I
like,
didn't even know there was one.
I didn't know either.
Well,
that's why I think she was wrong.
$70 or $80 bottle for an
probably, but in Vegas.
So they're gonna charge you for 2 ounces in a drink. They're probably gonna charge you fucking $50.
Yeah, whatever the fuck it is. Yeah. So I told him to go to the Woodinville port finish. It was really good. And it was like It was a smoked Manhattan, which is weird.
Interesting.
Yeah. But super good. So anyway, did that. Got a bunch of drinks.
Do you know what kind of vermouth they used?
I don't know. But I took a picture of. Funny enough, I guess we have time because
we're bullshitting.
We're
having a good time.
So I took a picture of this. So they used.
I don't like this double oaked.
I don't really like it either.
I like double oak generally. This is
a little tart, huh?
Yeah, something's going on.
Yeah, not a fan of it.
Well, it has been open for.
Matt, how long has this double oak been open?
2 years.
2
Yeah.
This is a stinker. Matt, when
Stinky
you go,
boy.
or Troy, when you go pee, dump this down the drain. We'll send this to our bottle girl.
Okay, so.
Oh my God! You're pouring it back in the bottle.
Dude, what are you doing?
It's really bad. Did you try it yet?
No.
Oh, I'm not a Woodford fan, man.
Double oak's good.
I mean, I've had
This is not.
I've had double oaked.
You dude, that
You really pouring that back into
that 5 grain?
Yeah,
That 5 whatever? You like that?
Yeah, it was good, but not 2 years old. That's shit. Poured in
This
my
is
sink.
not that though.
You think that's bad?
Yeah, it's not
A
great.
little chocolatey.
I don't think
You tried
it's
it?
chocolatey.
Yeah, it's
at all.
chocolatey.
I don't think so.
It's not bad. You're wrong. It's fine. All right. So, they use for their old fashions. Chinese 5-spice syrup, chocolate bitters, and cherry bark vanilla bitters.
I love cherry bark vanilla bitters. A Chinese 5-spice simple syrup is not something I think I've ever fucking heard of. But that's like white pepper and ginseng and ginger, and so that's very interesting.
Here's what I ordered.
I like the sound of that.
I mean, I use 5-spice quite often.
So here's what I ordered. The French Disconnection.
What is that?
Remy Martin 1738. Westland American Oak. Green Chartreuse.
Oh my God, I love Westland.
Vanilla syrup, lemon juice, and cardamom bitters.
Oh my God, that sounds like a fucking drink.
It was very good and super weird.
Can you screenshot that and send that to me right now? Because we're going to cocktail doctor
It was
that.
super weird, and it looked like an orange. I think they put like flowers and stuff in it.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Hot damn.
It was pretty good.
They shook it and put it in a coupe?
Shook it and put it in a coupe with flowers on top.
Shook it and put it in a coupe.
There's our steak on a big fire with some peppers and.
Did Eric have a good time?
I hope so. If he didn't, then he lied to me.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Not convincing.
Eric is probably.
That makes sense.
I know a lot of people who can say they can cook. Eric Bothwell is probably one of the best cooks on the face of the planet that I've met, and I think I can cook. Troy thinks he can cook. Me and Troy both think each other can cook. Eric Bothwell knows how to make flavors mesh. We've been talking about this.
I know I can cook, and I think you know you can cook.
Oh, I know I can
You don't have
cook.
to discredit ourselves.
I'm not discrediting. I'm just trying to be humble. I know I can fucking cook and fuck you up with my cooking. I know that.
Yeah.
And Troy can fuck you up too. Eric Bothwell puts us to school. He puts us to bed. He tucks us in. He kisses us on the cheek. Puts his finger on our prostate. Eric knows how to cook. We're gonna have an episode where Eric comes on here and cooks for us with bourbon. We've been talking about it for 6 months. I'm lining it up with him.
Sure have, huh?
Literally, yeah.
He's nervous about it.
He's nervous about everything. He's nervous about fucking going to sleep.
He gets that way because he's so nervous that it's not going to turn out good, but it always turns out good.
It always turns out better than anything you've ever had. His anxiety levels. All right, we're taking a pee break.
Pee break and then more Vegas stories.
Can you take that Woodford double oaked upstairs and dump it down my drain?
No, it's Matt's.
Yeah, take it home, bud.
Okay.
That was bad.
Pee break. Welcome back from Pee Break. This Pee Break's brought to you by Memories. Troy, what's your favorite memory of a sports game all time? Your moment you fell in love with the Yankees?
I mean, yeah, I have one. I mean, it's not that exciting though, but it's. Actually, yeah, I'll give you the best I got.
Okay.
It was the end of the dynasty for the Yankees. In 2001, they had won World Series in 96, 98, 99, and 2000. They were pretty much a swing away from winning 2001 too. It was Game 7.
Who beat them?
Arizona Diamondbacks. And
Randy Johnson. I mean, Randy Johnson just struck all those motherfuckers out. So I remember.
Just when he killed a bird.
Game. Forget about Game 7, but Game 6. Well, forget about that.
Forget about the other
The
game.
postseason was postponed because of September 11th, and it wasn't even guaranteed that there was going to be a major league postseason. So everything was up in the air. I vividly remember this. And everything was postponed almost like at least a few weeks, if not almost a month. And Game 6, I think the Diamondbacks closer gave up like a couple walk-off. Like I think he gave up a walk-off home run 2 games in a row. And Game 6, I think the Yankees were facing elimination, and it was bottom of the 9th, and Jeter hit a line drive home run to the right, like over the right field wall.
By the way, guys, Troy loves Derek Jeter.
We're gonna. That's the rest of the story.
Okay, sorry.
And it was like an eruption in the crowd. It was, and they called Michael Kay, the Yankees, one of the most famous Yankees broadcasters, coined the term Mr. November because it was November. And this is a play on Reggie Jackson being called Mr. October because he just destroyed all the World Series games.
Sure.
So like there was the idea of there being a Mr. November was unfathomable because baseball doesn't exist in November
because of 9/11.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only and go figure, Jeter would be that person to encompass something that didn't exist before or after, but in that sole moment, he did it. He did that. They ended up losing, but that moment
this is still pretty
really
special,
resonates
man.
with me. Yeah,
that's still pretty special.
Yeah. All right.
Can I tell you about my favorite sports memory?
Yeah.
You sure may, but only if you grab another bottle.
Oh, of course I could. It doesn't have to be from that shelf, right?
Let's finish that shelf first.
I'm just gonna go to the father of bourbon.
Fada?
Adios. I have a couple favorite sports memories.
Pick one.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been to a lot of Giants games. No one there was ever coined Mr. November, and every game I've ever been to, they've went to the Super Bowl and won. But anyway, Derek Jeter.
Fair enough, dude. Yeah.
So when me and my wife first started dating, my father-in-law's best friend, growing up, they've been best friends for almost 50 years at this point. He's a Giants season ticket holder. So when I started dating my wife, he would start taking me and Mal to Giants games. This was the 2011-2012 series when the Giants won their second Super Bowl. I went to 10 games that year. The Giants won every single fucking one of them under his season tickets. It was December 24th. Christmas Eve, obviously, and it was cold as fuck. And me and Mal went, and we sat with our buddy Pat, who is a great dude. I love Pat. Good dude, good boomer. That's the way I label him. Just a good dude, season ticket holder. Brought us, fed us, got high in the parking lot, drank in the parking lot. We ate at the buffet before we went in at the tailgate, and we went in. And, top of the third quarter, there's a rookie on the Giants roster. His name is Victor Cruz. If you're a Giants fan, you know. Giants versus Jets, which only happens in the regular season every 4 years. It happens, obviously, every preseason. This was the year that Mark Sanchez was popping. He just came off of 2 AFC championship games against the Bengals, which I also went to because my buddy Mark.
Mark Sanchez?
No, my buddy Mark Zelenak. He was a huge Jets fan. Best man at my wedding. Huge Jets fan. So I used to go, when the Giants got eliminated, I would go to the Jets playoffs games with him. When the Giants got eliminated, or when the Jets got eliminated, he would go to the Giants playoffs games with me. Anyway, so I'm sitting there and I walk up, and when I say it's cold, it was like negative 13 fucking degrees. December 24th in New Jersey. Winds are whipping. If you've ever been to MetLife Stadium, this is the first year MetLife Stadium was open. The winds fucking whip through the Meadowlands. And I'm at the beer stand, and I went at the beginning of halftime. And if you know anything about New Jersey, if you know anything about MetLife, it's fucking $15 for a beer, and you'll wait 45 minutes. So I'm in the line to get a beer. I went the second halftime hit, and it's a tie game at this point. I think you can look at the facts. There's YouTube videos about this exact play I'm going to talk about that made me whole. And I grew up loving the Giants. My last game of my dad's life, me, Troy, and my buddy Zach watched the Giants win the Super Bowl with my father. It was his last coherent Giants game. 2 weeks later, he was
I wasn't there.
Oh, it was me and Zach then.
Yeah.
Anyway, me and my buddy Zach, who's going to be on this podcast in a couple weeks, hopefully, we're working that out.
Nice.
We watched my dad was a lifelong Giants fan. We watched Eli win his first Super Bowl in 2007 together, me, my dad, and my buddy Zach. And then 2 days later, he was diagnosed with brain cancer. The Giants beat the Reds. That was the first year that the NFL did this thing where, like, the Super Bowl winner faces a rival on a Thursday night before the season opens. The last game I ever saw with my father before he died literally a day later. Giants won the Super Bowl, beat the shit out of the Redskins on Thursday Night Football to open the season. They beat them 35-9, and then my dad died. Anyway, fast forward. So maybe that's where I became a football fan. But this moment in history right here, what I'm talking about, I'm in line at this beer stand for fucking 45 minutes at halftime. And there's like an 86-year-old woman in front of me. 86. Has to be 86. If not 89. And it's fucking negative 34 degrees. I know I said like 24 degrees before. It's negative 34. And I get this full fucking Bud Light to the brim. They better fill it to the brim for $16.50 in MetLife.
Mark McGuire, actually.
Was that Mark McGuire? Sammy Sosa's tugging his cock?
It's Pedro with an Expos hat.
Yeah. Anyway,
literally in the 80s.
So
okay.
I'm in this line, and I just got my beer, and this 86-year-old lady got her beer, and she got her hot dog. She's at the condiment stand, and I hear the crowd erupting, and it's just out of halftime, And Eli Manning threw this fucking pass down the side to number 80, Victor Cruz, a Patterson native. I went to school in Patterson. Patterson native, undrafted. Caught the ball. There was 3 Jets around him. Caught the ball, sweeped around him, and ran for fucking 94 yards. And I just remember fucking, yeah, throwing my fucking beer in the air. And I'm throwing it all over this 84-year-old lady. That's the moment right there. And then the Giants won the Super Bowl 5 weeks later. But that is the moment right there where I was like, I'm the biggest fucking New York Giants fan in the world. Because I looked at that old lady and I was like, Victor Cruz just scored a touchdown. Sorry, you're cold. And then I walked to the next beer stand, bought another beer, and went back to my wife. Anyway. Matt, when did you fall in love with sports?
Never.
You're not in love with sports at all.
No. You know my favorite part about sports is that I can play fantasy football. That's my favorite part about sports.
Nine in a row. AL1.
AL1?
AL1, 9 in a row, baby!
All right, we got to open a special bottle to salute the American League going to sleep.
Can you give me that bottle of Bowman?
That's for you, man.
I know. Can you get it for me?
Troy, we've already established you're a closer reach, but...
Yeah, but he didn't ask me for it, so...
I asked Anthony for it.
Yeah.
I would like to share a bottle with you.
That's a one-sip Charlie, bud.
I want to try a little bit.
If I get up, you better bet your fucking candy ass I'm pouring something high proof in your glass.
I don't care about tomorrow.
Either do I.
I don't care what tomorrow... My last Friday tomorrow for me, so...
I should care for Eric, but...
Eric who?
We're going to say names. All right.
Buffalo, you're playing drums, you're fine.
Yeah.
Oh.
Still got to learn the songs. The book.
That's
The good book.
Yeah, that literally is the good boogers.
I thought we were going to put that in the Infinity Drinker. Okay, never mind. Fine. Okay.
What are you drinking right now?
Bowman. All right.
Are you keeping track?
I have been. Yes.
We put Eagle Rare. We still have not put the Blantons in.
We need Blanton and we need Elijah Craig.
And we're putting the boogers in.
So anyway, we hit the 4 in the decanter tonight. Pretty good start.
That decanter is going to be full within
About a couple more episodes. Maybe by the 50th episode, perhaps.
I just poured you some bookers.
Bookus?
Bookers.
Some bookus? Some tookus? Some tookus for your
Tookus bookus?
Tookus for your bookus. What do you think? Tag Along. Tag Along was the first one that I liked.
I like Tag Along Batch.
Yeah. Why did they name it Tag Along?
There's a story, but I don't know it.
There is a story. So that was like the first time that this is wrong, but we speak in absolutes 100% of the time. This is the first time that Freddie tagged along with Booker to make whiskey.
You know what's interesting? I learned
Oh, well. That's
the current. And we talked about this before. I think the littlest Freddie, the littlest who's currently an adult, but
He's like 36.
yeah, he's not allowed to touch Booker's yet. So Booker's is currently just his dad,
That's Freddie Jr.
Freddie Jr. or whatever. I don't know the name. Sorry, but yeah, he's not allowed to touch it yet. He can't. He doesn't help with it. Like very rarely does he help. But he's hoping, like obviously someday that he'll be passed to him. I'm sure it will be. But yeah, he is not yet like working on that, which is interesting. Like they're keeping Bookers as they'll never do a single barrel. So they kind of because people are asking like, can we have single barrel Bookers or whatever? Like no, we'll never be a single barrel. It's always it always is what it is. This is what it's going to be. You can single barrel Knob Creek, you can single barrel whatever else you want. But the Bookers is a special release we're doing. They might even do like
they do it 4 times a year too.
They might even do like a little book, like that's more experimental and whatever. They might even do. They're maybe open to that in the future, but never Bookers.
I have a little book over there that's really good.
Yeah.
That kind of reminds me of Teeling. Teeling is the first distillery to reopen in Dublin in God knows how many years since Prohibition. Obviously, Teeling was a thing before Prohibition. I think we said it on here before. 70% of the world's whiskey came from Ireland.
Something like that.
At some point. Teeling, what is this? They have a barrel for every grandkid in that family. You can't touch that barrel until you're 21 years old. So at least every barrel that those grandkids touch are going to be 21 years old before they can taste it. Isn't that pretty fucking...
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah. But, Troy.
We have to kill the bottle if we open it.
The game is over officially now.
Who won? American League won?
American League
3-2.
They always win.
They're 9 in a row, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time the National League won a fucking All Star game.
We killed 4 bottles.
Yeah.
Did it.
We did.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
It's like you hit 4 home runs.
We still have 3 bottles to kill, though, man.
We should take that off air. The After Dark episode.
That's because Matt has to edit.
I have to edit this tomorrow. So.
No, all you got to do is edit the first episode tomorrow.
I know, but I have to edit. Start tonight.
Yeah.
Anyway. Thank you for joining us on this very special episode.
Oh, Matt's kicking us off.
I still got the
Do it, Troy. Say
this is it. I'm gonna try and finish the story of my love and appreciation for baseball and sports.
Okay.
And
For the third time.
Try and this is the culmination.
Okay.
But it's also the beginning. it's a little bit of everything. But I think it resonates with what we've accomplished tonight. All right. It's not going to be that easy.
Any day now.
I'm really going to try.
Do it.
I wouldn't be as excited as I am today about a shitty fucking All-Star game that really is super gimmicky and doesn't mean anything if it weren't for yesterday's home run derby, which doesn't even mean anything either, but post the home run derby, Derek Jeter's documentary was unveiled, which was just part 1 of 7 on ESPN. I'm going to try and reel this back into whiskey somehow at the end of this.
You got it.
But in 1996, my first... Shut the fuck up.
No, I love it.
My first year of playing baseball, I was in first grade, not kindergarten, but first grade. I didn't play t-ball because apparently I thought that I was too good to play t-ball. So
Well,
I just
it's
wanted
cheating,
to.
right?
I
Yeah.
graduated straight to regular baseball. Was my first year of playing, and I was a part of, we all had sponsored teams, and I guess the sponsor of the team that I was on was a gas station, like a fucking shitty little local gas station, Quick Fill USA.
Oh, Quick Fill sold Turkish Silver
and
super cheap.
Quick was spelled KWIK.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
seriously. Turkish Silver's like $4.95.
Yeah. So, we had like these like shitty baby blue uniforms. I mean, by uniforms, I mean like, shitty cotton t-shirts and gray pants, whatever. And everybody got a jersey thrown at them, whatever number that you got pretty much. 1996, and I got number 2 thrown at me. I didn't have a choice. I was like, okay, this is my number. I'm number 2. And as far back as that, I knew that I was a Yankee fan. I was a diehard Yankee fan. And I think prior to that, I guess my favorite player was Don Mattingly, which if anybody...
Oh, Don.
Yeah. And there were a couple of other guys in the early to mid 90s, like Wade Boggs and Mike Stanley, and people like nobody would ever fucking know unless you're actually
Did Wade
Jersey.
go to the Hall of Fame? Because Wade was an excellent player.
I'd be shocked if there's almost no doubt because he was an incredible player for the Red Sox for a long time, and one of the best clutch hitters of all time in baseball.
You want to talk about clutch? You talk about Wade Boggs. Yeah.
So that was that era. And most of the players of that era escaped me because of what was to follow. And I got number 2. I asked my dad, so who on the Yankees is number 2? Because I had no fucking idea. Like, how would I know? And he hardly knew because Derek Jeter's rookie year technically was 96. And he had played like a handful of games The year before, he didn't play at all in the postseason. They made it to the postseason in '95, but he didn't play at all. And he's like, some guy, I think his name is Jeter. I don't know. And I'm like, all right, I don't care who the fuck he is. In my little pea brain as a fucking 6-year-old, I was like, that's my guy. This guy, whoever number 2 is, that's my guy. It had nothing to do with who he was or who he was about to be. All it had to do with was that he was number 2.
That's pretty fucking insane, Troy.
Yeah.
Because it ended up being Derek fucking Jeter.
Yeah, could have been anybody.
You mean
could have been
November.
anybody.
Yeah. I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
as a person who grew up hating the Yankees,
Yeah.
During that time period, there was not a single person on the face of the fucking planet who did not have respect for Derek Jeter.
Yeah.
No matter, he could have played for any fucking team in the league. It did not matter. Derek Jeter is a world-class human being. So
Yeah.
that's pretty sick.
And he ended up hitting close to 200 hits that year. He won Rookie of the Year that year. They won a championship that year for the first time since the 70s. And pretty much the rest is history. I was like, well, that's
How
my
many
fucking guy.
years did he play?
20.
20 years he
Yeah.
played. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the twilight of his career, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't he kind of kick it up?
I mean, he never had rocky years. He had some years where he was obviously going to be, a little bit worse than other years, but he always was an average hitter, like as in above 300 pretty much all the time.
I mean,
playoffs, he was I think he had more hits in the playoffs than any player of all time. The stats are fucking insane, truly insane. And I got to witness so much of it, so much so that when they lost in 01, and that game that I was telling you about, Mr. November, and Game 7 they lost, I was dumbfounded. I was like, well, fuck. If I didn't know they could lose. That was
What a Yankee fan! I don't know they could lose.
No, man, I was
sounds like
so
a typical fucking Yankee fan, doesn't
I was
it?
so fucking spoiled.
Yeah.
I was so
I
fucking
know.
spoiled.
That's why I hated
Yeah.
the Yankees because they always fucking
I know,
won.
and I didn't.
Yeah.
I truly, dude.
Yeah.
It's not like I was pompous. I didn't fucking know that was a thing.
It's kind of like being a Patriots fan.
All of this comes to a head eventually, and when he retired in 2014, after 20 full years of being a Yankee, I couldn't believe that he had as much poise and grace as he did with the same team the entire time, and it was unbelievable. And then he wound up, getting stake in Florida Marlins ownership or Miami Marlins ownership, just at the time that I was living in Miami. And in December 2017, I was working at the restaurant that I was working at, and I was I was talking to a good friend of mine, a girl who is from the fucking Bronx, just coincidentally, and she pulled me aside and she's like, "Did you see who's over at table 32?" And she was very casual, which is pretty insane because she's from the Bronx. And I was like, "No." And she's like, "That's Derek Jeter."
Imagine if it was table 2, not table 32.
Close enough, though.
Yeah.
I will never forget that it was table
literally-
32.
Literally, you would have been living in an episode of Westworld if it was table number 2. And
Even still, dude, the fact that he was there, and I was like, I fucking crumbled to the ground, pretty much. Not in actual, in the restaurant, but in my heart. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And he was with Jorge Posada and both of their wives.
Oh, he was with Jorge? You didn't tell me he was with
What do you-
Jorge. You've told me the story 1,000 times.
Yeah.
He was with Jorge Posada?
Yeah, and both of their wives. Because
What do you order?
I don't know.
Did you
I
serve
actually,
them? You were the som at that restaurant, or?
I was the som, but I wasn't the beverage manager. I'll tell you the story.
Okay, please.
So she was so casual and cool. She was way cooler than me anyway.
Who? The waitress who told you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Way cooler than me. So it makes sense that she would be cool and I wouldn't be. I I had to go outside and call my parents.
Oh my god.
I'd be like,
He just
So
needed
this is
a
happening.
decompression moment. Yeah, he just needed to relax. That's fine. Did you go in there?
it's South Beach. It's South Beach, Miami.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you got to realize, like, we it was a good restaurant, but like, and we were at the peak of whatever we were. The restaurant's closed since, but we were something. We were buzzing around that time.
You were what was kind of popping at the moment.
Yeah,
And now it's gone.
yeah. And so I couldn't function, so I had to just brace myself and calm myself down. Call my parents, told them, so I'm, Derek Jeter and Jorge Posada are at the dinner table at the restaurant that I'm working at, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it, but but I need to call you and tell you that that's what's happening, and okay, goodbye. And I went back inside, and I talked to my boss who ran the beverage program, and I was like, I think I was hungover too. So like I kind of had the shakes as it was, even without that.
Well, what do you do when you have the shakes, bud?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm trying to imagine pouring tableside for that table without just uncontrollably shaking and spilling wine all over the fucking place.
All right, finish your story because I think you did pour for them.
I did not pour for them.
Oh no.
I did not pour for them. I did plenty that I wanted to do. But I talked to my boss, Jen, and I was like, I'm sorry, and she didn't even care. She was kind of already taking care of them. I know what they drank, and they drank really, really fucking good wine. But she ended up pouring them because I don't think I would have been able to actually do it without breaking a bottle on the table. And after the fact, I knew that if I didn't say something to Derek, I would have never forgiven myself the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
So I just mustered up the courage and walked over there and very politely was like, hey, he could tell I worked there. And I was like, if I don't tell you this story of how I, became a fan of yours from New Jersey, was number 2, your rookie year was my rookie year, even though I was 6 years old and you were like 20.
Yeah.
I would never be able to live with myself. And I told him the whole fucking story. Not like, long.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I said, like, my first year of playing
Troy,
baseball.
that's like the sickest fucking story
Yeah.
I've ever heard, man.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
And the only reason that I even knew who you were was because you were number 2. And he's like, dude, that's an incredible story. He asked me, looked at me dead in the eyes, what's your name? I said, my name's Troy. He shook my hand, and I was like fucking losing my mind. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Did he let you fuck his wife?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, that's how Troy.
All right, that wraps up this episode of
I had
Singer
my
Chicken.
story.
I want to hear Matt's story.
My story is very
No,
short.
yeah.
Super short. You ready for this?
No, I want to hear the long version.
The long version is I grew up playing t-ball my entire childhood. Like, it was super into baseball. And then about 13 years old, I was playing regular pitch, They actually throw the baseball at you.
Throw the baseball at your head.
Yep. So, I got pegged in the fucking side of the head by a baseball my first
Probably
game.
by me. Yeah.
And then I said, fuck it, I'm taking my base. And I was crying on first base because it hurt so bad. And my parents felt so
hurt.
bad.
Does hurt.
And then I eventually got out on second or whatever because I'm a fucking terrible athlete. And then that day, we were walking home after the game. I said, I don't like baseball anymore. And I quit. And that's it. That's the whole story of me and baseball. So there you go.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
That's not the way it's supposed to be, though.
Hey, Troy.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question without you getting mad at me?
I love when you phrase it like that.
Wouldn't it have been better if you served Derek Jeter his wine?
Dude, of course it would have been. That
you
would
have
have been a way better story to tell.
Do you have any regrets?
I wish I hadn't drank the night before. If I hadn't,
Do you
I would have
think-
been more confident.
Do you think that you would have been doing your job?
Oh, dude, I had dreams of like being. I'm wondering what it would be like to be somebody like Derek Jeter's personal sommelier.
Well, I mean, you said that he drank very good wine, but
Well,
is
he
that
didn't-
what
he didn't
you
order
would
it.
have selected it for him?
I know
or-
exactly what he drank. I could tell you right now.
Oh, that's not what I'm asking. I'm asking, is that what you would have poured for him?
Well, I think Jen probably chose that wine based on what they were eating. I think she was being a true sommelier.
Do you think that Jen was a better sommelier than you at the time, or?
Well, yes, but because she was, I mean, she's an advanced sommelier. Number one, she was my boss.
You
and
are
she
a
was-
semi-pro advanced sommelier, so
Well,
I mean,
Now I am. I wasn't then.
you are my
I was
personal
just
sommelier.
I was just a certified sommelier.
and my best
back
friend
then.
of all time. So, like, I mean, I feel like you could have given Derek Jeter number 2
I could
rookie
have,
class
but
a better experience. Do you have any fucking regrets, Troy?
I really don't. I really don't.
Sick.
Yeah,
That's
I really
all that
don't.
matters to me.
Yeah.
You have
Glad
no
to hear that.
regrets.
Yeah, because I mean, Jen.
That's like
Jen
a what?
Was, Jen was from,
that's like if Eli Manning was on our podcast right now, dude.
yeah.
Drinking bourbon
Jen was
with
from
us.
Washington State. She didn't grow up a
Beautiful
baseball
state, by the
fan.
way. Beautiful state.
I mean, she was kind of into the Mariners. I think it would have been. I would have had to recuse. I recused myself from the situation. Like, I wanted him to have. I would have wanted him and his family and his friends, Posada and his wife, to have the best possible experience that they could possibly have. And unfortunately, because of how personally close I would have been to the situation, I don't think that I would have been able to give that to them.
I don't mean to put you down right now, but like if that was me and I was in that situation,
Yeah.
I would have made sure
Yeah.
I was there, and I would have given them.
That's
me personally.
and that's
I would have given
that
them,
is that will always be the difference
between you
between
and me.
and why I
Sure,
There
sure.
are parts of you that I wish I had.
Some of my best friends right now are some of my biggest idols.
Yeah.
growing
Yeah,
up, like without publicly displaying my job.
Yeah, and
Like,
that dude,
and-
I
And I try to give them the best experience every single time.
But when
they
you
fucking
don't
talk to me,
expect it,
but
when it happens all of a sudden in one night, like all, you know,
we're gonna have to take this offline, Troy, because
Speaking of which,
yeah. Follow us on Instagram. We're giving away liquor all of the fucking time
and merch sometime.
and merch. Do we have one last bottle that we want to kill right now?
No.
Yes.
Next episode, we kill another bottle.
That's done.
Next
We have
episode.
5 hours of editing I have to do.
Maker's Mark. No.
No, I mean let's just kill it, man.
No.
One
All right.
bottle we gotta get. No, fuck you, Matt.
We gotta end this. Yeah.
Follow us on Instagram. We got a lot of shit. Whew.
I'm keeping that one in. It was good.
This has been a good time. We got to watch the All Star game. That was at Troy's request. We got a lot of memories tonight too, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Kind of like
Appreciate
tapped into our childhood a little bit,
Yeah.
especially with me and you.
Yep.
Nobody hit me with baseball, but that's fine.
I mean,
I'm still young. I
Matt,
don't know.
Matt, if you want me to hit you with a baseball, I got like literally
I have to relive my
four Chipper
my
Jones,
childhood fears.
4 Chipper Jones signed baseballs in this house. I'll peg at your fucking head.
I'm into it.
Get used to this, guys. When it comes to September, I mean,
Or November.
no, September, October, November, hopefully November. The Giants are playing meaningful football.
It was a
November joke. Mr. November joke. It's fine. Go ahead.
We got more for you to come. Next week, we're going to follow up with our good dude Murphy from
Cedar Ridge.
Cedar Ridge. Yeah, I'm like super excited about. They sent us a bunch of samples. I'm kind of wondering if maybe he has one to recommend for a cocktail. I wonder if we can make a cocktail with him.
Perhaps. Or after. Or something like we do what we kind of did last
Yeah,
time.
yeah. I mean, if you're not here for a long time, you might as well be here for a good time.
Very true.
Our good friend LC once said that. Thanks again for everything. I think this deserves a drunk,
group.
very
Yodel.
drunk group
Yodel.
Matt's sleeping on my couch. Yodel.
Couchy you, couch who. All right. 3, and 2, and a 1. Yodeling!